Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what makes people become obsessed with you. I'm now going to show you your crystals. So for pile number 1, we have this beautiful blue lace agate heart. For pile number 2, we have Citrine. For pile number 3, we have Carnelian. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you are most drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one pile, you can pick 2 or all of them. Your intuition will always know best. You can also pause the video if you need more time. And if you are done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I will see you at your reading. Bye! Hi to my pile number 1s. If you chose this blue lace agate heart crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what makes people obsessed with you. So you chose the card Plan a Vacation. Let's go ahead and lay your cards out for you. So the first card we have here is the Queen of Cups. Very beautiful card. Next we have Compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Beautiful. Next we have Write a Gratitude List. We have the Hierophant. We have the Queen of Materials, which is the Queen of Pentacles. We have Awakening, which is the Judgment card in this tarot deck. We have the Seven of Emotions, which is the Seven of Cups. We have the World card. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Three of Wands. And lastly, we have the Strength card. I also want to say we have an extra card, but I don't have enough space to put it in here. We have the Judgment card again. So this energy is doubled in this reading. Okay, my pile number 1s. Now that we have your cards laid out, I can see exactly why and what makes people become obsessed with you, my pile number 1s. So the first thing I'm noticing that is a big thing for me, that is showing up a lot on your cards, is we have Plan a Vacation and Write a Gratitude List. So in these 2 cards, I kind of get the adventurous kind of energy, a really positive energy as well. And in this card, we see this lady depicted on a boat ride, on a cruise, something like that. So some of you may just be very adventurous. We even see that here in the Three of Wands. The person looks like they're going on an adventure. So even if you aren't adventurous people per se, like maybe you don't actually go on vacation a lot or go and do crazy things a lot, but something about you seems this way to others, even if you don't necessarily do it that exact way. Let's say you are someone that likes to go out and have fun and enjoy the finer things in life. As we see here, she has a champagne bottle, she's wearing a fancy dress. There's this energy to you that seems adventurous, that seems very happy, positive, outgoing, even if you're not someone that goes on vacation a lot. Or maybe this is something you dream of doing in the future, where people will notice that about you in the future. For some of you that do go on vacation a lot or do love to travel, perhaps, some of you post about it on social media or speak about these memories and experiences, or want to have these memories and experiences. And it's like people really become obsessed with that fact, because it's like, let's say, for example, you go somewhere on a trip. Now I'm hearing that song. We're going on a trip to a favorite. Okay, but anyways, I feel like that's the playfulness with you, my pal number ones. But let's say you're going on a trip to Dubai. That's the first thing that came to mind. And you speak about this trip that you've saved up for with the Queen of Materials. You really saved up for it and planned in advance for it with the Three of Wands. So this is an example. And you've planned a year in advance that you're going to go there, and you've planned all the little nitty-gritty details of the flight, of the hotel, and you've made it so planned and so budgeted that you've paid for what you would enjoy. So let's just say, you paid for this trip in advance. You've already looked at all the hotels, all the guest houses, Airbnbs, and you chose one specific to you, where you can take pictures there, where you can have nice meals there, where you can feel free and comfortable. And let's say, you also go and buy clothes in advance and you plan in advance, and that's the kind of energy I get with Three of Wands and Queen of Materials. It's like you're prepared for everything in advance, even if it was something fun, not a vacation, but like, let's say, you go somewhere like bungee jumping, for example, and you plan everything in advance. You bring snacks, you bring water, you plan everything that most people don't think of, and you make the trip fun, or you make the experience and the memories fun. So I kind of get that idea with you, my pal number ones, that people become obsessed with that fact, because it's like you are the perfect person to go on retreats, to plan vacations with, to go somewhere fun to, because I feel like you have a very structured personality where you can plan everything in advance, and you're not the type of person that would forget things. Maybe sometimes, but most of the time I feel like people see that about you, that you're really structured and you have everything together, you write things down, and it's like people feel like they can rely on you, and that's why they get obsessed with you. And maybe when they hear you speaking about these fun experiences you love to have, these fun memories you love to make, it's like, oh, I want to go with you. Like that kind of energy people feel, and they get kind of obsessed, because let's face it, in this day and age, most of us are a little bit flighty, most of us are forgetful. So I feel like you're a really reliable person, but you also have a fun time with you. You're not the type of, I don't think you're the type of reliable person that makes everyone stress out, but more so that brings us sort of peace. Like, let's say, we're going on a trip on vacation somewhere, let's say to Mauritius, and we are taking a cruise. And let's say I forget, like, let's say this cruise can allow you to swim in some parts of the ocean when they get to different parts. And let's say I forgot like a swimming costume and you were my friend. I feel like you'd lend me that swimming costume and bring an extra one. I feel like that's the type of energy I feel with the Three of Wands and the Queen of Materials. Like, you're reliable and structured, but you're also a person to have a good time with, to make beautiful memories with. I feel like you're very fun. There's something about you that people just want to go on adventures with you, make memories with you. They're showing me a vision of people like skydiving and having like smiles on their face. So don't take that too literally, but it's that kind of energy that people want to have fun with you, my pal number ones, because you are such a positive person, but because you also have this energy to you that is reliable and organized, and people like that. Okay, and with Write a Gratitude list here, I feel the energy that a lot of you are really grateful, positive people, and you just add this newness to people's lives where there is this positive to you. There is this positivity to you, even when things go wrong, even when things don't go as planned as the structure goes, because sometimes things happen that are out of our control. And I feel like you're that type of person that is so positive that you make everyone else feel more positive when things don't quite go right. And that's another reason why people are so obsessed with you, is because you bring this positivity to people and you have a really joyful personality. And I mean, we have so much yellow here in this card, and also this card at the top, sunset energy. Yeah, you remind me of a sunset. Like, I feel like I can make beautiful memories with you, my pal number ones. Another thing I am noticing here, when I looked at this flower tattooed on her, maybe some of you have very beautiful tattoos or very creative tattoos. We even have tattoos here. Maybe some of you also are just very creative in general and love color, because she's even wearing a rainbow top, and in this dress, like, it's fluffy at the bottom, but here it's like it's formal, and here it's like a corset top, and her hair's up nicely, and kind of reminds me of Bratz, this image. If you've ever watched that Bratz movie, I think it was a cartoon Bratz movie, I'm trying to think of it, where they all went to prom together. This kind of reminds me of that image. I actually want to go look at that movie and see. Okay, so it was Siren and Stylen, and I remember in that movie, it was like they were trying to plan some prom night together, all the friends, and you know, the energy I spoke about now kind of reminds me of Sasha, but also Chloe, and I'll explain why in a minute. So it's like you're a mix of Sasha and Chloe from Bratz. I love that. And another thing I noticed here with this tattoo, it kind of reminded me of Tangled, and I saw a vision of Tangled when she was free. And if you haven't really watched the Tangled movie, basically it's something along the lines of she has magical hair, and this magical hair is being used. She's not naive, but she has the spark in her eyes that makes her like trust the wrong people. And she had her mother, but it wasn't really her mother that was using her for her magic hair. And I mean, even here we have stars in the hair. Some of you have really beautiful hair, or you have this magic in your soul that people see. Okay, or you just have this spark in your eyes, like her character reminds me of. So she always wants to escape this tower and see the outside world, but her mother always says to her that it's dangerous out there, blah 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 blah, but she's actually the danger. Okay, so anyways, later on in the movie, she escapes with Flynn Rider, this other man, and he is seen as a criminal, but he actually has a really soft heart. But in this one scene they showed me as a vision when I looked at this, it was when she came back to the kingdom, and she was actually the lost princess that the kingdom had lost when she was young. And she was like drawing flowers everywhere on the floor, and she was playing with the kids, and she brought dance and music back to the village, and it was like she brought joy back to the village when she came back, because it was like she was even braiding little girls' hairs and putting flowers in them, and we see flowers here. That's so interesting. Such a synchronicity. Even flowers here. And I feel like even with this compassion card, I feel like she was that type of person, that type of character that was very compassionate, very positive, very bubbly and infectious. Like, even if you saw her character and you were the most serious person on earth, I feel like something about what she'd say or do would make you laugh or smile, even if you didn't want to smile. That's her character, and that's what I feel is about you, my pal number ones, where sometimes people, maybe they're a bit more serious, a bit more, like, sometimes they can react to things and get fueled by their shadow side or ego, but something about you connects people to their inner child, to smiles, to laughter, to that type of energy, to the energy of compassion as well. Like, I feel like you give people compassion when they've never received it before, and you give them this type of love they've never received before, this type of playful energy, and you reconnect people to their own joy and remind people of the importance of having joy and experiences and positive memories in life. Okay, my pal number ones. And I also just feel like maybe even kids love you, because I saw that vision of Tangled where she was braiding their hair and putting flowers in their hair. I feel like kids do love you, and pets as well. Okay, my pal number ones. Another thing I'm noticing here, we have so much moon symbolism. Here we have the moon and stars. Here we have moon tattoos on her. We have a moon locket here, if you can see it. We have a moon and a third eye. So some of you are very connected to lunar energies of like intuition, of this feminine energy, not gender, feminine energy of like flowiness, creativity, compassion, nurturing, that kind of energy. And some of you are also just very connected to your emotional side and your compassion and that nurturing side of you that I feel a lot of people become obsessed with. And it's kind of like this energy. I feel like some of you attract a lot of people with mommy issues, and that's not necessarily a bad thing if you can discern, how do I put this? Not to enable their behaviors, but rather to help them grow as well and look within. But I feel like you sometimes attract people with mommy issues because you have this such nurturing energy to you that you give this love to people that feels like they've never received from a mother. You give this compassion to people that people have never received before, where usually maybe their parents shouted at them or people shouted at them for making mistakes, but you'd give this compassion and love. Or let's say a friend was crying and you'd bring compassion and love and see the love and light within everyone. But I think you've also learned to find balance with that with the Hierophant card, because some people don't see that love and light within themselves, and we have to give compassion to them because that's their own journey to finding that within themselves. We can't force people to see what they don't see in themselves. Okay, my pal number ones. But also with the lotus flower here, I feel like you have been in similar situations where you haven't received that love and now you give that love to others. And I feel like you're a lover at heart. You even chose the heart blue lace agate, which represents healing. But I love this crystal. It's one of my favorite crystals, because it's such a healing stone, and it brings out emotions, and it helped me heal a lot of my traumas and wounds. So if you've been feeling drawn to this crystal, maybe get one like this. It used to be a necklace that I wore every day, but then the string broke, so now I just use it for my YouTube. But I feel like you do have this healing energy that helps people receive that love to their traumas and grow flowers on their traumas. Does that make sense, my pal number ones? Also, here in the Queen of Cups, she has a champagne glass. I feel like you're really fun and outgoing too, and also bubbly, because champagne is bubbly when you pour it in. And when we think of champagne, people use champagne with celebration. So I feel that energy with you, my pal number ones, that people see you as this bubbly, outgoing, compassionate person. And that's the Chloe energy I felt from Sasha and Chloe. But yeah, I just feel this energy that you are an amazing friend, you are an amazing lover, you are an amazing sister, brother, like anything you would be amazing at. Just having you, I would love to have a person like you in my life. I just said love, but that's the energy I feel with you. It's just so full of love and so full of compassion and nurturing. And here we have 5-5, so you bring change to people's lives and help them see the side of themselves as well. And I feel like you teach people this with the Hierophant card. You teach people to see the love and light within themselves. But remember, it's everyone's own personal journey, and some people don't. It's maybe sometimes not in people's lifetime, this life, to learn that, or sometimes they still have to learn lessons to be able to see that within themselves, my pal number ones. Another thing I am noticing here, we have the Awakening card, which is the Judgment card, and we had another Judgment card if you saw the how I was taking out the cards in the beginning, but it didn't fit here. So Judgment in this case, with the compassion and everything, I feel like you're someone that is really understanding. We see the idea of heaven here. So perhaps you're almost like this energy of, I wouldn't say God, but like you have your higher self with you on earth. Does that make sense, my pal number ones? So when we think of God, like God is someone that is very compassionate, that always has mercy and compassion to us, always doesn't try, but forgives us for the baddest things we've ever done. Like, I think we've all hurt people, we've all done bad things in our lives. We as humans are not perfect, but I feel like you have that energy of your highest self with you, where someone can do the worst thing to you and you will still learn to find the compassion in your heart to see their wounded inner child or their shadow self acting out. I feel like you're very wise and compassionate souls, and that is a gift that you hold within you, that you're meant to spread in this lifetime. And some people don't deserve that energy, where you can love them from afar and learn that, okay, they're not good for me and they're causing me pain and making my soul be harmed in the process, so I can't be around them. But I feel like you have this way of moving forward even after things like that, because you have so much strength in your soul, and that unlocks the key to all your desires in life. And I feel like you have such a very unique path here with the Three of Wands, with having your highest self with you on earth. You are your highest self in some sense, and I feel like it's hard to explain this energy, but I feel like you have a very unique path, and the universe is going to reward you for bringing this light to people. Okay, my pile number ones. Another thing I am noticing here, people love that you are so strong and compassionate, and I feel like you also teach people to do that with others. Like, let's say, your friend vents to you and your friend says, oh, let me try find an example in my mind. Spirit, please give me an example. Okay, they're showing me Valentine's hearts. So let's say it's something silly. Like, let's say your friend calls you and she's venting to you and she's like, my boyfriend got me Valentine's heart chocolates, but I wanted heart earrings, not chocolates. And then you'd listen to her first, you'd show compassion towards her, and you'd be like, oh, I see, you actually wanted something else. You wanted earrings, right? And then you're like, that is a totally valid thing to want that. It's good that you can admit your wants. But then you maybe call her out on that and you're like, but your boyfriend did something very good for you. He did something very nice out of the kindness of his heart. So what you're doing right now is also not right by not accepting this gift with love and almost, I wouldn't say entitlement, but almost like not appreciating the gift that he gave you. You know what I mean? And then you'd be like, have you told your boyfriend this? And then she's like, yes, I lashed out at him and threw the box of chocolates at him. And you're like, oh no, honey, like, go apologize to him right now, because he did something sweet for you and you were wrong in that moment. And you're real with her, because I feel like you're very truthful people. Although you have this nurturing energy, you keep it real with people, and with the Knight of Swords energy. And let's say she really looks within. She first gets angry at you for saying that, but then she really reflects on that and looks within. And, you send her a text and you're like, I know that came off as quite harsh, but I want you to see that it's not okay to treat people this way, especially when they give you some kind of form of affection or love. I will go buy you heart earrings to make it up for you, but please go apologize to your boyfriend. So let's say she really gets excited when she sees your message and she goes and apologizes to her boyfriend and finds the compassion in her heart to admit that she was wrong in that instance. And her boyfriend accepts her apology, and they go on a beautiful date together and they have an amazing time together. Whereas maybe if you never said that, they would have maybe not spoken to each other that Valentine's Day. So that's the kind of feeling I get from you, my pal number ones, that you bring people together in compassion and love and teach people to become their higher selves on earth too. Okay, my pal number ones. So that is a very unique path, and only the strongest souls can handle this path, but I feel like you have this gift of love and compassion with you that is just so unique and such a thing that Earth really needs right now. Okay, my pal number ones, because I feel like Earth doesn't have a lot of people like you, and the world needs this gift. Okay, and that's why people become so obsessed with you. It's because you have something that you awaken within them. It's just like you, I feel like you also have this energy to you where, you've had a lot of things go wrong in your life, but you've found a way to, enjoy life and make positive memories and move through that and grow through that and heal through that. And I feel like you're teaching others the same thing. So I feel like you're a very valuable gift to people's lives, more than you ever realize, and you change people's lives, as I said earlier. And that's why people become so obsessed with you. It's like people see you as this person they aspire to become like, but in an inspiring kind of way. Okay, so I feel like a lot of people with the World card become obsessed with you for this reason, and also the reasons I mentioned earlier. And lastly, I want to speak about the Seven of Cups. Sometimes you are just like in your own world. Like, let's say you're in the grocery store and you're thinking about what to eat tonight, and you're just in your own world. And I feel like people sometimes want to see like what's in your mind. Now I'm hearing a song. Okay, so the song name is called Inside by Skin Shape. And it's like, I want to know what you're thinking, how you're doing, how you're feeling inside. Will you let me, tell me, show me, give me everything that's on your mind? So I kind of feel that energy with people. Like, you have such an energy to you where people become mesmerized and obsessed with you for this. And they want to know what's in your mind. They want to know the deep parts of your soul. And I feel like that's what makes people even more obsessed with you, is this pursuit of wanting to know what's in your mind, of wanting to get to know your soul. Like, I feel like if you were a person that, you know, made art or made poetry or shared pieces of your mind with people in some way, it's like people would just want more and more and more, and to binge that. Even if you were someone to make YouTube videos and just speak on your mind and things like that, or, you know, vlogs, like travel vlogs, and show people a bit of your inside world, I feel like people really become obsessed with that, and they want to binge watch that and see everything that's in your mind and your soul, because it's so magical and beautiful, my pal number ones. So that is the reason why people become obsessed with you, my pal number ones. I really hope that this reading resonated with you, and if it did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if this resonated, and share with your friends. I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye! Hi, my pal number twos. If you chose this citrine crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what makes people become obsessed with you. So you chose the card music. Let's go ahead and add your cards for you. So the first card we have here is Spend Time with Animals. The next card we have is the Seven of Swords. We have another card, an extra card for you, the Four of Wands, which I'll add in a moment. We have Bodies of Water. Spend time near water such as the lake, river, or ocean to recharge your batteries. Well, actually, I want to put this here. The next card we have is the Six of Voices, which is the Six of Swords. We have the Muse of Voices, which is the King of Swords. We have the Seven of Inspiration, which is the Seven of Wands. We have the Knight of Inspiration, which is the Knight of Wands. We have the Hanged Man. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. And lastly, we have the King of Wands. Okay, my pile number twos, now that we have your cards laid out for you, I see exactly why and what people become obsessed about for you. Okay, my pile number twos. So the first thing I am noticing here, this is my animal pile. So this is going to sound really weird if you've never watched my readings before, but I think I did about 1 or 2 readings before this one where I had a specific pile where I said that you are very cute and cuddly like animals, very loving like animals, very high vibrational and healing like animal energy. And you know when you see like a dog or a cat and it's just a pure unconditional love. I mean, it's even opposite the bodies of water card, which represents nurturing. Water represents nurturing, emotion, empathy, spirituality. So there's something about you, my pile number twos, that is not animalistic, but something about your energy feels like an animal. Like I'm just coming up to a beautiful, cute dog, hugging it, and it's running and jumping and so excited to see me. There's something about your energy that's almost like that. Or maybe you exude a specific animal's energy. Like maybe one of you or a lot of you have specific animals you resonate with on a soul level where you feel almost like you are that energy in human form. So, you know, it's going to be different for everyone. But I mean, we have a dog here. We have, is that a bunny? I can't tell. We have a squirrel. We have a deer, an owl, bird, butterfly. You know, it's going to be different for everyone, whatever animal you resonate with. But I feel for a lot of you, you have this energy of cuteness to you, of fluffiness, cuddliness, that I want to hold you, but also this energy of protectiveness. When we think of dogs, cats, they're protector animals, you know what I mean? Animals aren't just going to let you do anything to them, and I even see that with the 7 of Wands here. You know, you're a very positive, joyful, cuddly person. That's what people obsess about you. Like they want to cuddle you, they want to have joy with you, they want to play with you, they want to be around you, but sometimes you may also protect yourself and growl, but like set boundaries, things like that. That's what I mean by growl, or protect your peace and your energy. And that's also what makes people become so obsessed with you, because it's like you give this energy of don't disrespect me, don't you dare come, don't you, I said don't you dare. Maybe some of you it's deers. Okay, but don't you dare come near me and disrespect me and walk all over me. That's the kind of energy I feel here with the 7 of Wands right opposite the 10 of Swords. You don't tolerate disrespect or anyone's negative energy, no matter how cute and cuddly you are. And now I'm seeing, I think it's Powerpuff Girls, where Bubbles has that little teddy bear, but it's a grumpy teddy bear. I think she said something along the lines of, I'm cute, but don't mess with me or fight me, something along those lines. They're showing me a vision of that. So there is this energy of you being very cute and cuddly, but it's like, fight me if you want to disrespect me. So I think that also makes people laugh in a sense, but it also makes people respect you, which makes them more obsessed with you, my pile number twos, which is really cute and cool that you have so much of this energy of protecting yourself. The next thing I am noticing here is we have the Music card and the 4 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands represents this energy of celebration, excitement, passion, adventure, and the 4 of Wands as well. I mean, the people here are eating grapes and they look like they're just having a whole lot of fun. this energy of celebration, excitement. That's the kind of energy I feel with you, my pile number 2s, as well as union with everyone around you, with people, with animals, with all souls on earth, but also having this protective energy to protect you. So I just feel like people feel like you're really fun to be around. People feel like you're an excitement to be around. People feel pleasure being around you, like you're a big plate of grapes that is really delicious and juicy, and they're listening to music, and they're just having a whole bunch of fun and adventure, and there's something about you that is very celebratory to be around. So for example, let's give the example of, don't take this too literal because not all of you are like this, but let's use an example of, let's say you're a really busy person and you have a lot of goals, desires, ambitions and passions to achieve, and let's say you only go out like once a month or once every 2 months, and then when people do see you, it's like they're so excited to see you, almost like, you know, when you go to work and you leave your dog at home or you leave your cat at home and you get back home and they're so excited to see you. That's the kind of energy I feel here with this. So it's almost like maybe you're not always around certain types of people, and then when they do see you, they kind of get excited and it feels like a celebration, feels like New Year's Eve, feels like that kind of energy, what I'm picking up from the fireworks here. And with the music card, I just feel like you bring this positivity and color back into people's lives where they never felt it. With the 7 of Swords energy, perhaps some people around you that you attract into your life have really boring like routines or lives, or perhaps some of them even find ways to have fun that hurt others with the 7 of Swords. So for example, let's say you meet someone and they're a friend, and this person, trigger warning, let's say this person likes taking substances for fun, and now that's not maybe your vibe. Or maybe you do sometimes like drink or take substances, but not every weekend, not every month, only on special occasions. For some of you it's different. I do not encourage any type of use of any substances, but you know, I know we're all human. So for the sake of this reading, I'm just keeping it open-ended. But let's say this person likes to do it like every weekend. They like to party, really get on another type of level in that sense, where maybe it's not hurting other people, but it's hurting their own lives. And you come into their life and you show them a healthy kind of fun, a healthy kind of adventure, where they don't need substances to feel happy or to feel joyful, you know what I mean? So there's something about you that doesn't, enable people's wrong behaviors or wrong actions, or participate in that too long if it's going to hurt you. So you have strong boundaries. But let's say it's people with really boring routines, or people that feel with the 7 of Swords almost like this imposter syndrome. When they do go out and do something fun, they almost feel like I'm trying to explain the energy. You know, when you go out and you don't quite feel comfortable in your own skin, and you don't know what to do with your hands, you don't know what to say to people because you don't know the people there, you just feel uncomfortable in your own skin, and you almost feel this imposter sort of syndrome that you shouldn't be there, that you shouldn't be having fun or meeting new people. That's the kind of energy I'm speaking about with the 7 of Swords, like an imposter syndrome, you know what I mean? And let's say those people do come to this party and they're feeling very out of place. That's the word I was looking for. Very out of place. They want to have fun, but they almost feel out of place doing so and communicating with people. That's why we have spent time with animals here. You know, if you are an introverted person, you'll know what I'm talking about. But, you know, if you're an introverted person and you go to a party, like a house party, and there's a dog there, sometimes, you know, us introverts will go to that dog first and play with that dog because it feels much more comfortable and easy than sometimes speaking with humans. And maybe that's why this card also came up, because sometimes people feel like you're their dog that they can go up to and feel comfortable around, because you have this comforting, nurturing energy to you with the water card as well, where people feel like they can be comfortable around you. You know what I mean? You give off this air of excitement, but also comfortability, like people can talk to you and not feel out of place. You bring fun into their lives where, like, let's say, you know, you are at this house party and they're talking to you and they feel comfortable and open with you because something about you just feels comfortable and safe to have fun around. You know what I mean? And now, after they're talking to you for a little bit, they're listening to the music, and now they're dancing with you, they're having fun with you. They no longer feel this kind of imposter syndrome where they feel like they shouldn't be here. And you just did that. You helped them open up and have that fun that they are meant to have, because us humans are meant to have fun on Earth. Us humans are meant to make experiences on Earth and happy memories. It's like you are music. You are a celebration to people. You get people dancing, you get people flowing, you get people comfortable in their own skin, in their own nature, and that is a beautiful gift to have, to be able to help people get in touch with their own joy, with their own sense of healthy fun and healthy sense of adventure and beautiful experiences and memories. With the music card, some of you could be very talented in music, or some of you could just like music that sounds good to many people, where they feel like they can have fun with you dancing, listening to the type of music you listen to. Maybe you listen to music that a lot of people like and they like your music, and that's another thing people get obsessed with you about. With the animal card, I felt like people sometimes latch onto you because of that, but that's also a reason they get obsessed with you. With the music card, like if you do actually create music, if you're a musician or you sometimes sing, I feel like sometimes people may get obsessed with this, or, you know, if you are looking for a sign, if you are a musician or you are an artist of some kind, it's almost like you bring music to people's ears. Even if you paint something, it's like they can taste the colors, they can hear sounds off of the paint. Like, that's the kind of energy I feel. It's like you give people this experience that they don't get from normal things. Does that make sense? Okay, and then like with music, let's say you are a musician. Some of you maybe sing, some of you maybe rap, some of you are thinking of doing that. And that's like a sign that maybe now or in the future, people are really going to be obsessed with your voice, with your music, with poems. I just saw poems or writing. It's like maybe even your voice just sounds like a beautiful melody that people want to listen to all day, even if you aren't necessarily singing or rapping in any way. Something about you is just like music to my ears. It's the energy of like, you know, when you go into heaven, they're showing me heaven, and it's like just like harps playing everywhere. It's so harmonious. It's so sometimes when you listen to a song and it feels so good in your ears, like it just feels like you're not on earth in that moment. That's the kind of energy I get from you, either from artistic things, your voice, or your actual music now or in the future. Okay, my pal number 2s. And you also chose the citrine crystal, which is a a crystal of like abundance, success, but it's also related to the solar plexus, which is, our expression, and it's also joy, it's also creativity. So that kind of pretty much sums it up for you, my pal number 2s. I saw a vision with this card of a movie. So it was Guava Island, and the cast was with Donald Glover and Rihanna. And basically the plot of this movie was, in this island, I think there was this kind of energy here where like there was this rule that nobody could listen to music, nobody could even sing. It was like a rule in place where nobody could do that. And this little boy was born, and he absolutely loved music. I can't really remember the movie because I watched it, I think, a year or two ago. But I'm going to try remember what I remember. And if I'm wrong, please just correct me in the comments. But like in this movie, he grows up and he tries to play music as a child. He tries to sing and he tries to do that. And his parents completely say no, 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 no. They get angry at him. And they're saying like it's forbidden. You're not allowed to do that. And he as a little child can't quite understand it. But he puts that away. And then it shows him as like an adult or teenager, I think more so young adult. And this young musician really enjoys music. He feels like music is his gift. He feels like it's his passion. So he really goes and he's pushing away the negativity and the darkness inside his own mind of like, what if I do this and nothing good happens to me because of doing this? But it's like he pushes that out of his mind and does it anyway. With the Knight of Wands, he takes a risk for his passion. I mean, we even have the King of Wands here with lions representing courage and strength. So there is this energy to you, my pal number 2s. And he does it anyway. So he starts playing music in this island. He starts bringing people together with his music. People are absolutely loving it. People are having fun again. People are dancing. People are singing. People are just having fun, even kids. And it's just like that energy is there. And I think it was a government or something. I can't really remember if it was a government or someone owning the island that made those rules, but he found out about that and he really got upset and told him to stop what he's doing. But this actually fueled him to do it even more, because he was like, I'm not going to let anybody stop me from doing what is my gift, my passion, my gift from God. That's the kind of energy he had. And Rihanna was in this movie as well, where she was his girlfriend in the movie, and she even said to him like, why don't you just back down from this? And he said, no, I'm not gonna back down from this, because this is my gift and I'm bringing people together with this gift. And later on he organizes a music festival on Guava Island to help them break free of the suppressed nature of them living boring lives and having no music or no celebrations, nothing to bring them together like glue, because he was like love, like glue that brought everyone together in fun and joy. And later on in the movie, it was a sad ending, but I'm not going to get into the ending because I feel that doesn't really apply here to you, but more so the plot of the movie and the energy of bringing fun to people, bringing this joy, bringing music to people's ears. Even if you aren't a musician, maybe you have certain gifts or talents that bring people together, or maybe your gift is just being a celebration to be around, being such a nurturing, kind soul, and being such a fun person to be around that people connect back to their inner child and, are able to have fun again, are able to come together as like a community, that kind of energy. So that's what I feel a lot. Since we have bodies of water, as I said, this is a nurturing energy. This is also a very empathetic energy. We have it next to the Six of Swords. So you are the type of person that always helps people out, especially people that may have waited longer or struggled without your help. I feel like that you're the type to help people in need of that help, and that's another reason why people become obsessed with you. It's all these things I just mentioned. It's like you don't let things get you down. You have this powerful, courageous energy to you where you go after your dreams and your desires and what you do, what you want to do, your ambitions, your passions, even if that's just being joyful in the moment and creating happy memories with others. It's like you bring people together in community with your energy, my pile number 2s, and you don't let anything get you down. You push away the darkness. You're really like positive people. And another thing I feel people get obsessed with you about is with the Seven of Swords energy. I kind of feel the energy here that some of you have like friends. I'm going to use an example of 2 friends that are girls. And let's say this is the kind of energy I see. I don't condone this behavior, but it's an example of like a vision they're showing me. Okay, my pile number 2s. So just letting you know, I don't condone this behavior at all. Please don't follow what I'm saying. But let's say there's 2 friends that are girls, right? And this one friend is like has been friends with the other girl for like many years, for like 12 years. They've been together through thick and thin. And let's say the one girl started dating this guy, and they've been dating now for 2 years. But now, as soon as like she started dating this guy, maybe like you'd be that other friend that's single, but then like let's say, that friend maybe never saw you as much because they also had a love interest now, and maybe you didn't mind that as much. You found other ways to brighten up your day, because I feel like with all this rainbow energy, all this excitement energy, I don't think you'd let that get you down per se. Maybe you'd set a boundary and speak your truth, but I don't think you'd let it get you down. Let's say, this boyfriend goes and cheats on her after 2 years of them being together. And, you want to go, I told you so, but you decide to not say that. But then she's so mad, and she's like, I'm going to go key his car. Are you going to join me? Like that kind of energy. Or what's that thing called? Like where you throw paper over a person's house, like toilet paper. That kind of energy. Like I feel like that's the energy you have a little bit, my pile number 2s. I don't feel like you do bad things to people, because you are very kind people, like with the animal card. But I do feel like you have this protective energy to you. Like I mentioned, like a dog, if someone was to come in and break into a house, the dog would bite that person's ankles. Or, even though it's not in their nature to be like that towards people, but if someone is invasive and doing something wrong to those you love, I feel like you'd be that kind of energy of like my partner in crime, that kind of energy. And that's another reason some of your friends get obsessed with you, because it's like they just feel like they can be themselves with you and not be judged. That's the kind of energy I feel with this card. So that's funny, actually. Another reason I feel people get obsessed with you, my pile number 2s, is because you're really patient people. And with the King of Swords over here, I feel like you are very intelligent people as well. You think logically. You're also very fair and logical. It's like your mind is always busy with things, but I feel like you're very intelligent and you know how to communicate that. And it's like they're giving me the energy of like Sheldon, you know, that kind of energy. Like maybe some of you aren't, you know, that smart per se, because Sheldon was very smart, but like Sheldon, I think he went way above like a normal human's intelligence, but they're using him as an example because I feel like you're a lot more intelligent than most human beings, and people notice that about you, and they love your intelligence, and they love you speaking to them about things. They love you educating them on topics that you know about, that you've researched. And like, let's say, you know, with this Knight of Cups, let's say you're going on a date with someone and you're having a glass of wine, and you know, this person asks you about your work, and you do something that they don't know about. And then they're like, tell me a little bit about your work. I want to know a little bit more about what you do. And you're explaining it to them in detail where they can understand, but also see the intelligence behind it. And then it's like they're just in awe of your energy. That's the kind of energy I feel here. Also, I feel like with the Knight of Cups, with lovers and partners, a reason people get so obsessed with you is because you are so nurturing, caring, cuddly, sweet, romantic. I feel like you wear your heart on your sleeve. But even with friendships, you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve. It's not a naive energy, but it's like you have a love for everyone. That's the kind of energy I feel here. And with the King of Wands, I feel like a lot of you, this is not having to do with gender, but a lot of you are very sexy. A lot of you are very attractive physically, but also internally with this energy. You know, there's this energy to you that it's like you stay strong, powerful, and firm in your own beliefs, and you're very passionate, and it's like you're just a celebration to be around. That's all I can explain it to. It's like you're physically attractive, you're also intelligent, you're also kind and nurturing, you're also really like sexy on the inside, like your personality. You know, I get this energy that, you know, let's say, for example, let's say you're a man and you go on a date with a woman, for example. Doesn't have to be, but let's just use an example. Okay? And let's say this woman sees you and, as I said, like asked you about your job and everything, and you were talking and you had a really good time together, and she felt like she could laugh, she felt like she could open up, she felt like, you know, the place you took her to was exactly her vibe, and now she wants to go home with you. Maybe she doesn't normally do this, like with people on the first date, she doesn't openly trust people, but I feel that kind of energy, that you have this charm to you where people just want to grab you and take you and kiss you. and have like passion with you, that kind of feeling as well. So that's the kind of energy I feel here. Maybe even you'd say you wouldn't agree to it with the Seven of Wands. You'd be like, I respect you too much. But I feel this energy that people just find you really attractive on the inside and the outside. And they're showing me like a chocolate. And, you know, this chocolate really looks delicious on the outside. It's chocolate on the inside. Chocolate on the outside, and on the inside is like maybe white chocolate. And you bite the outside and it's like really good. But then the inside, you also bite into it and it's also really good. Like, I feel that energy with you. On the outside you're physically attractive, but also on the inside you're attractive. My pile number twos, it's like you're a whole package deal that nobody could refuse or nobody could push down. It's like they're showing me now, you know, a house or like a mansion that everybody wants. That's the kind of energy I feel with you, my pal number twos. I know you're not a property or anything like that. You're a human being. But this is the energy they're showing me through visions. That's the reason why people obsess with over you. And it's just like people get so excited around you. Even if they aren't a smiley, like happy, laughy person, it's like you bring that out in them. You bring out this excitement and adventure in people. You bring color into people's lives. Even like with this rainbow energy and all the sunset energy here, the fireworks. I also feel like another message coming through, the last message coming through, is a lot of people from your past are really obsessed with you, my pal number twos, but they almost feel stuck, like they can't speak to you. Or maybe, you know, some of them have been blocked on social media, or, you know, maybe you cut them out of your lives, or maybe you don't post as much on social media. Like maybe you're kind of private in that sense. And it's like people from your past obsess over you, but then they obsess even more because there's some part of them that can't have you again. Or even if they were able to have you again, like let's say you didn't end on bad terms, maybe they feel a little bit embarrassed to come back to you, but they still obsess over you. Okay, my pal number twos. So those were your messages for what makes people obsessed about you. I really hope you resonated with this reading. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi to my pile number threes. If you chose this Carnelian crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what makes people become obsessed with you. So you chose the movement card. Let's go ahead and add your cards for you. So the first card we have here is Look for Fairies. Next we have the Page of Cups. We have Expect a Miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. We have an extra card for you. Home. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. We have the Temperance card. We have Strength. I'm going to say this reading is very similar to pile number 2, but a different kind of energy at the same time. We have the Muse of Materials, which is the King of Pentacles. We have the Page of Inspiration, which is the Page of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. See, this is a similar energy. Pile number 2 had King of Wands. You guys have Queen of Wands. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Three of Cups. And lastly, we have the Star. Beautiful. Okay, my pile number 3s. Now that we have your cards laid out, I was seeing a vision for a lot of you. I was seeing the Little Mermaid when she saves Prince Eric and she sings "Wish I Could Be Part of Your World." There's this kind of feeling when people obsess over you, my pile number 3s, that people really wish they could be part of your world, whether they're wanting to be your friend here with the Three of Cups, or whether they're wanting to be your lover, whether they're wanting to just be in your life per se, my pile number 3s. There's this kind of feeling like maybe people on Earth and you're from this magical realm, and it's like everyone wants to be part of this magical realm that is you, my pile number 3s, with the Look for Fairies card. It's something about you is very mystical, magical. Something about you brings in this energy of like people feeling like their wildest, biggest dreams are coming true. It's like people would wish for a person like you to be their friend, to be their lover, to be their child, to be their sibling, to be their family member. And I'll explain why in a moment. It's like you, my pile number 3s, some of you have this energy to you, and I think I've read for a pile like this before, a specific pile where a lot of you have like this fairy energy where either you look like fairies, you act like fairies, or you give off this fairy energy of being very playful to be around, maybe a little bit witty, but very playful, funny, very whimsical and magical. Maybe some of you are very petite and or dress like fairies or look like fairies. And some of you, I feel like mermaids, because I've read for a pile like this before, like mermaids where maybe you either look like mermaids where you have really curvy bodies, or like a really curvy like legs and hips, you know what I mean, where it looks almost mermaidy. Or maybe some of you have this energy to you where you're quite watery like a mermaid in terms of your personality, like very caring, very nurturing, very connected to the spiritual realms. Some of you maybe love to play mermaids when you were younger, like swimming, or just love to be around water, like water heals and nurtures you. And some of you perhaps just give off these siren vibes. You know what I mean? Like you make people look at you and almost lure you in, like come over here, that kind of energy. So I feel like for you, my pile number 3s, a lot of people wish for someone like you in their lives because something about you is just very magical. I mean, we even have the star here. The star represents, you know, a connection to the physical and spiritual realms. And I feel like you connect to these beautiful realms and you bring that down to earth, and that's why I saw the vision of Ariel singing "Wish I Could Be Part of Your World," because sometimes maybe even people meet you, but they wish they could be a part of your world and understand the magic in you, or have that same magic in them. But I feel like it's just you, my pal number threes, and there's something about you just feels very ethereal, feels very magical. That's the best way I can explain it. With the mushrooms here, perhaps some of you even make people feel like they're on some type of, I don't condone any of this use, because I'm just like reading the energy, but maybe some of you make people feel like they're on some type of psychedelic trip with the mushrooms here, or like, now I'm hearing the song by Doja Cat, "You Get Me So High." So that's the kind of feeling I get from you. Like, you're so sparkly, you're glittery, you throw sparkles wherever you go. There's even so much rainbow energy here with the movement card and Page of Wands. It's like you spread rainbows, glitter, fairy dust, magical sparkles wherever you go, and people can't miss that energy, and they want to be part of your world and understand your magic and understand your world, and even be a part of it. With the Star card, I feel like you're part of a lot of people's wildest, most magical dreams as a person, to have a friend, to have as a friend, to have as a partner. And that's why people become so obsessed with you. So one thing I will say is, with this energy, the Star and Expect a Miracle, I feel this energy that it's like people pray for someone like you in their life. People manifest someone like you in their life, the traits you have, my pal number threes. And it's like, when people meet you, it's almost like they feel like they have met a miracle in human form, or they've experienced a miracle in human form from you just being there, because it's almost like maybe sometimes people don't feel there can actually be other humans out there like this with traits like you, my pal number threes, that they desperately want in a partner and a friend and someone around them. And the reason I feel so is because you bring the higher realms down to earth. And also what I see here is a lot of you feel like home to people. You make people feel at home. You make people feel cozy. You make people feel comfortable. A lot of you are good friends with the Three of Cups to people. Like, I feel like you'd just be an amazing friend. There's no other way to describe it. A lot of you have healing energy with the Star, or you bring hope into people's lives. You bring people up in a beautiful way and help them see their own light, and you shine brightly, my pal number threes, with the Star card. It's like you believe in this miracle kind of energy and you bring it to people. And another thing I see here with the Page of Wands, I feel like you, my pal number threes, are very colorful people. Like, all the rainbow energy here, you're very expressive, you're very colorful, very imaginative people. And with the Nine of Pentacles, it's like you plant seeds of wisdom, love, healing into people's minds, into people's lives, and you help them grow into like their soul. Like, you help their soul grow into like a beautiful garden. And I feel like that's part of the reason why people become so obsessed with you, and why people see you as such a miracle to have in their lives, my pal number threes. Because it's almost like people meet you and they're like, I'm so lucky to have met this person. It's like you're part of their wildest dreams. And now I am hearing this song, something along the lines of, dreams can come true, look here baby, I'm with you, something like that. Can't remember who it's by, let me just check. So it's by Gabrielle. Oh my gosh, it even says, you gotta have hope. You gotta be strong. The strength card. It's almost like you're just, people dream of having someone like you around. I keep emphasizing that. Okay? Like, I just feel like there's something about you, my pal number threes. It's not one specific trait about you, but people just wish to have someone like you in their lives. Even with the sunflower here that she's holding, sunflowers are a representation of joy, of this energy of laughter, playfulness. I feel like you bring that into people's lives. And with the Page of Coins card, it's like you also connect people to their inner child. You connect people to this energy where they can play, they can have fun, they can explore, they can find the beauty in life. I mean, this woman is just, this child is looking and magnifying a glass on a little bunny, and she looks like she's so happy to see this little bunny, even though it's an ordinary thing in life. I feel like you romanticize a lot of things in life, and it's just a magic in your soul where you see mundane experiences as like such beauty. It's the beauty you see in the world that reflects in you. It's like you are that beauty, and now you're seeing it in the world because that's your perception of life. And you also help people find that perception within them. And even with the trees, it's like you make people feel at home, like at home, cozy, safe. You make people feel like they can have strength again when they were once really lonely, depressed, isolated, sad, anxious. You make people have hope in like life, in their daydreams. You plant beautiful seeds of love into people and healing. It's like you leave sunflowers and sparkles and glitter wherever you go. You're also really attractive with the Queen of Wands. You follow your passions, you follow your desires. You're very strong people with the Lion showing up twice in your reading. And you also have Cat showing up here and also here. Cats are also symbols of courage, curiosity. You also have like that cat energy, black cat energy. So I feel like you have this fun, playful energy to you, but you also are quite independent. You have strong boundaries. You're also quite strong. And now they're showing me like Shakira dancing. Oh, we even have the movement card, because they're showing me like Shakira where she's dancing and she's moving her hips. Maybe I said lips by mistake, but maybe some people love your lips. Maybe people get obsessed with your lips, but I meant to say hips. So even we have the movement card, so that's the synchronicity. Like maybe some of you dance, maybe not professionally, maybe some of you dance professionally and it's like your passion with the Queen of Wands. But maybe for some of you, like you're just going out and you're dancing, or like let's just say you're at home with your friends, you put on some music and you dance, and you're really expressive here with the Page of Wands. You're really imaginative. It's like you bring these rainbow clouds with you everywhere you go, and it's like no rain can parade on your rainbow energy. No rain or sadness can parade on the energy you bring. And let's say you just dance around and people really love and enjoy that and obsess over that. Like maybe some of you have really nice bodies or really attractive, sexy hips, because I saw Shakira shaking her hips. this woman over here is in some type of, I think it's a yoga pose. So maybe some of you also exercise or do like dance classes or yoga, and it's like people see you moving your body and feel really attracted to it, get really obsessed with it. And like with dancing, I feel like you make people comfortable to show that vulnerable side of them. Like I feel like you'd get people to dance that don't usually dance or do things like that, to be silly and playful and fun and just be in that moment, you know what I mean? And then like also at the gym, I feel like if you do go to the gym or you walk around or things like that, I feel like people really enjoy looking at you. People almost feel mesmerized by you. I mean, we even have this night sky energy on her and here as well. And the star card, it's like you shine brightly like a star and everyone's just mesmerized by your energy. You also chose the Carnelian crystal, which represents a lot of sensual energy. So I feel like, oh my gosh, even here it looks like this kind of Shakira energy like I explained. But there's something about you that is really attractive and sexy, and people just love looking at you. It's like they almost go into a trance looking at you. And it's not just your body, it's also your energy. My pal number 3s, it's like you just shine in whatever you do. And they showed me you know, Mabel and Dipper in Gravity Falls. They showed me Mabel, you know, how she always wears those cute little sweaters with rainbows on them. If you've ever watched Gravity Falls and you've seen Mabel's character, I feel like that's you. That's your energy, my pal number 3s. Okay. And also with the movement card, I feel like some of you maybe walk, or like they're showing me modeling. Maybe some of you do like runway walking, or maybe some of you just like walk on the street, or run, and then like people see you and get really attracted by that. Maybe some of you are just elegant in your movements, like even here we see this little fairy dancing. Like maybe some of you just move in a very slow but beautiful way, if that makes sense, where people almost become in a trance looking at you, my pal number 3s. Another thing I'm seeing with the Temperance card is you're quite balanced people and also very patient people. It's like you, here with the moon phases, it's like although you have all this energy of like playfulness and fun, I think you also understand that each day is different and we all have our different phases of life, where maybe one day we're sad, the next day we're happy. I feel like you understand this, my pal number 3s, and that's part of the reason why people almost become so mesmerized by you, because not a lot of people can understand this, and you help people see the beauty in life. Is this a lotus flower? I mean, the lotus flower next to the strength card makes me feel like, you know, you've been through some things, but you've still stayed a pure soul, because this lotus flower is represented by the color white, representing purity. And I mean, like, you have this energy to you of like a butterfly or a fairy or mermaid or merman. And I just feel like you're so majestic, ethereal, and there's not quite just one thing to you that makes you this way. And I also feel like you help people go on their own journey to meeting themselves on a deeper level and seeing life on a deeper level, on a beautiful more level, like, because here this person is going on this kind of journey and there's so much flowers here, and it's like you take people to water the garden of their own soul and see their soul as a beautiful garden to plant seeds in and water and to take care of. And it's like you bring this light to people, that you shine so brightly. I feel like you also help people find their own strength. When I was looking at this, I saw a vision of Shrek in the first movie where I think Shrek and Donkey were walking across something like this, like a bridge, and Donkey was really scared to walk across there, and Shrek was like, don't look down, just walk, don't look down. So then Donkey's like walking, he's like, don't look down, don't look down, don't look. He's repeating to himself, don't look down. But then he looks down halfway through and he's like looking down, and he's like screaming, he's freaking out. So now Shrek decides to be a little bit playful with Donkey and scare Donkey by shaking the bridge kind of thing. And he's shaking the bridge and making Donkey scared, but in a laughy kind of way. You know what I mean? And Donkey is moving back and back and back and back the whole time he's doing this without even realizing. So Shrek used like reverse psychology on Donkey without even him knowing. And then eventually he was at the end. You know, they almost fell down off this thing, but they didn't. And it's like you help people find a way through their own fears where you almost reverse psychology them into doing it without them realizing, and it's like they finally face their fears and find courage, because I feel like you are really passionate and adventurous and just beautiful souls, my pal number 3s. Very courageous souls. You've learned to find your courage and strength, and you're also helping others find that in this lifetime, either through their emotions, through fears, through anxieties, helping them meet deeper parts of themselves and also listen to themselves, because these flowers on their heads look like ears, like big ears. So I kind of feel like this energy of, let's say your friend was tired, for example, because this is opposite this. Let's say your friend was tired today, you'd be like, listen to your body. Then maybe this friend would be like, it's not that simple. Then you're like, you're tired, you're human, listen to your body, you deserve rest too. And it's like you teach people this deeper kind of self-love. You teach people to see the magic and the beauty in the world and the rainbows and the colors of the world. And it's like you make people taste colors, you make people hear colors, you make people see magic. They're showing me, well, they've showed me this vision before for this pile where I saw this before in my previous readings. But in Bratz, it was a Bratz fairy movie. I just want to get the name. Oh, it was Bratz Fashion Pixies. And basically in the movie, there was one girl that was a pixie and the Bratz girls were just normal human. And I feel like you're that pixie girl. This is gender free, but the vision I'm trying to explain. And she gives them these glasses, these like rose colored glasses, and they put it on, and now they can see all the fairies, the gnomes walking around. They see colors they've never seen before. It's like a whole new magical world that they've just entered from putting on these glasses. And I feel like you give people these glasses for them to wear, for them to romanticize and see the beauty and the color in their own life. And even here, it's like, it looks like sage around the people here. So perhaps you even have such healing energy because it's next to the star, such loving, homey, comfy energy that you almost cleanse people's energies from anything negative holding them back, and plant a garden in their soul of like beauty, of love, of joy. You know what I mean? And also strength. And it's like you bring miracles into people's lives by you just being you, my pal number 3s. I feel like, you're also a very good friend to have, like with Three of Cups opposite the King of Pentacles. I feel like you also don't mind paying for people or buying gifts for people, because there's something about your energy that feels kind of rich, even if you're not rich people. I feel like you're very thoughtful people with like gifts and taking your friends out. And I'm seeing home here in the back and home here. So I feel like, you'd even be that type of person if you had the space to even offer people to live with you if they didn't have that money. Like, I just feel like you are those type of people, or like even just helping others in general. Like, let's say, you have old clothes, things like that. I feel like you're the type of people to help others and give away to them in some way. There's something about you that just makes people feel at home, that makes people feel safe, And I just feel like, okay, they're showing me, like maybe, you'd get your friend, for example, like you'd get your friend a nice pair of heels that they were looking at for a long time, but maybe they couldn't afford. That's the kind of energy I feel, like thoughtfulness, like you don't mind paying for people or spoiling people, or even spoiling yourself and teaching others to spoil themselves, like with money, and not to hold on too tightly to it, to help them grow and learn that it's not something we have to fear, that we can enjoy our money too. That's just another message coming through. With the home, like me seeing a home here in the background on the home card, some of you could be moving soon. I know this is not part of the reading, but if you are looking to move soon and you were looking for that confirmation, this is it. Lastly, I want to speak about the Queen of Wands. She's wearing very flowy, luxurious clothes. So there's also this energy to you that's very luxurious, like you take care of yourself with the way you dress, with the way you appear to others, and that's what makes people obsess so much over you. People obsess over the fact that you're really sexy, you're really independent, you're really beautiful on the inside too. You're these magical people. You're like a dream come true in human form, and the way you move is just so elegant and beautiful and just mystical and magical. And that's why people become so obsessed with you, my pal number threes. And it's just like you shine brightly, and I want you to continue taking that light and shining brightly, and kind of like looking towards it with curiosity and going on your own path and helping others too, by just being yourself and being your playful self, my pal number threes. I really hope that this reading resonated, and if it did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if it did, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye.